The official 2014 World Cup coverage on SJ Radio.
Okay, it's Brazil 1, Chile 1, we've added 1, sorry, from the new broadcast here. It's the penalty stages. Who is gonna go out? We'll find out to get ready for the penalties now. We're going back live into BBC 5 Live Action full coverage.
96. Julio César has the chance here to be the hero and redeem himself for the error that he made 4 years ago.
Because, Kevin, this is the hard one, isn't it? Whether the home advantage is good for Brazil or it could turn on Brazil. I suspect it depends on what happens with the first couple of penalties, doesn't it?
Yeah, it is. Get that first penalty away, and you can't forget the importance of that César save in normal time from Aranguiz as well to set this up. It was a wonderful save from him. Now there's big. I would say that with big pressure. There's no real pressure on the goalkeepers within this penalty shootout. If they make the save, they're the hero. If they don't, you just get on with it. So listening to Tim there, what happened to him 4 years ago, he'll be wanting to make amends for that.
Tim, there's some stats here which I'm trying to look up. You're going to have to read that one because that's in Spanish. Just about in terms of actual the goalkeepers and their records here as well. Look at Neymar. Kevin, are you watching these photographs as well? Neymar seems to be leading the team talk as much as anybody. Now Fred's having his say. It's like one of those open forums. What do you say to each other, Kevin? What did you say to each other, your Irish team, before the Spanish shootout?
Well, just rely on what you've done throughout when you've been practicing your penalties, and it didn't come up for us that night. And I think, again, I'm sure both these sets of players, they've both practiced penalties, they're both confident when they step up to take that penalty, but I genuinely don't think, Mark, it does stand for anything. I don't, because I think you've just got to be confident in your own ability. If you score, you step up, you turn away a hero. You might hit the same penalty again, the keeper might save it. It's just one of those things where you've got to step up, be confident, and have enough ability enough for confidence in your own ability.
Let me just tell everybody, Serena Williams has held serve, so Elise Cornet has the chance to serve for the match. What did that say, that particular tweet about stats?
It says that Julio César of Brazil has a better record than Claudio Bravo of Chile. 61% of penalties against Julio César have resulted in a goal. He has stopped 30%, which means 9% have gone wide. In the case of Claudio Bravo of Chile, 73% of penalties against him have been a goal. He stopped 15, which means that 12% have gone wide. So the statistics tell us that Julio César of Brazil is a better penalty shot saver than Claudio Bravo of Chile.
Howard Webb tosses the coin yet again, and Silva and Bravo, the two captains, having a chat with him. Right, hang on to your hats then. What a way to start the knockout round with a penalty shootout involving the hosts. Alan Green.
Well, one of the key factors now is which end of the ground the penalties will be taken at. And if it's the end to the right, behind that goal are the 3,000 Chilean fans. I think it is,
Yeah, looks that way, doesn't it? Bravo's making his way down the pitch.
Wow, it's wonderful. Just one point, Kevin. The penalty taker, it will obviously vary. Do you make up your mind where you're going to put the ball before you come up to the ball?
Yeah, invariably he's saying, like these lads are doing practicing beforehand as well, so you kind of have a set routine, the way that you take your penalties, and you go in and you have confidence, conviction in what you do. And again, you might not hit it right. There might be something that does happen within that run up that dictates why you miss it, and that's what happens. I think if you go up with conviction, you're full of confidence, stick to what you know. I suppose that's the message that they're getting to, or being relayed to every one of those players that's out there now. Stick to what you know, do what you're good at.
We still don't know which of the teams is going to take the first penalty kick. Julio César and Claudio Bravo have both embraced each other because they know that the pressure, inevitably, the focus is on the goalkeeper. And does he move quickly? If he moves too soon, does the referee have the conviction to say no, retake that? Claudio Bravo is moving towards the goal, and he looks to the fans behind that goal, all dressed in red. It's going to be Brazil who'll take the first penalty kick. David Luiz, the responsibility is his. So Brazil, is it an advantage? You think it is psychologically?
Yeah, I think it is. Get up and running, get the goal away, put the pressure back on Chile.
Bravo is a brilliant goalkeeper, and I don't care what the stats say. Bravo crouches on his goal line. David Luiz has placed the ball on the penalty spot, and it's going to be quite a big run-up for David Luiz, the Chelsea player, the former Chelsea player. Luiz shoots into the net. Bravo committed himself to the left. Luiz shot went to the goalkeeper's right, and Brazil lead 1-0.
Positive conviction in the penalty. Good step up there from David Luiz, send the keeper the wrong way. Perfect start for Brazil.
What a nerve-wracking occasion this is. It's Pania who walks forward first for Chile, with Brazil 1-0 up in the shootout. So now the jeers from the Brazilian supporters. The right-footed penalty. He steps back towards the edge of the box. Here he comes, Pania, straight down the middle and saved! Straight at the goalkeeper. Julio Cesar parries it, and it remains 1-0 to Brazil.
He's come off his line there, John. He stepped 2 or 3 yards off his line, narrowed the angle. Comfortable save for him, but he's well off his line.
I don't think you need to say who'd scored or who'd saved or whatever, because we knew with that huge roar. So Brazil lead 1-0 after each side has taken their first penalty. Now we've got Willian in the quadrant, comes forward now, another right-footed penalty. He's hit it wide. Catastrophic for Brazil. No excuse not to hit the target, and suddenly it swings back towards Chile.
Incredible, absolutely incredible. Didn't hit it well at all though, Willian, did he? Sent Bravo the wrong way. Terrible penalty.
Remember what we were saying about Brazil not having regular penalty takers? Only Hulk of this squad takes them for his club, and William is absolutely distraught. Luis Gustavo has had to go to him. Ramirez, David Luiz as well, his club mates of course at Chelsea. Daniel, he's having to be shepherded back to the halfway line. Well, it's already thrilling, the shootout. Brazil winning 1-0 in the shootout after 3 penalties. Now it's Alexis Sanchez for Chile. Oh, and it's saved by Julio Cesar, leaping down to his right. And he's saved both of them so far. And after 4 penalties, it's still only 1-0 Brazil.
Yeah, Scalari's on the pitch as well. Guess right again. Cesar wasn't a really good penalty from Sanchez. Wasn't in the corner. He stepped off his line ever so slightly again, but it's a comfortable save.
Brazil have the advantage after 2 penalties. Now it's Marcelo of Real Madrid. Can Bravo encourage another error? Immediately goes under his left foot, and that's a good penalty kick. I think Bravo may have got a hand to it, but he couldn't stop it. It's into the net, and Brazil, having taken 3, lead 2-0.
He did, Alan. He got a hand to it. He went the right way, Bravo. Just enough power from Marcelo to take it beyond the goalkeeper into the corner. 2-0 Brazil. Driving seat now.
What a contrast between, from this distance, 2 very similar looking players. Willian with the previous one for Brazil, who was distraught, and Marcelo, who was leaping for joy and raising the arms to the crowd. So it's 2-0 to Brazil, and this is Chile's 3rd penalty. They've not scored one yet. It's Aranguiz, another right-footed penalty. Julio Cesar saved both so far, and this one is lashed into the net. Julio Cesar didn't even move. Goodness me, he really swung a leg at that and planted it in the top corner. Well, so 2-1 Brazil.
So there wasn't too much of a run, it was a head down, smash it, top corner, unstoppable. Great penalty from Aranguiz there.
Fantastically brave from the Chilean player. And now it's Hulk, the regular penalty taker in this Brazil lineup. Brazil lead 2-1. We're in the 4th series of penalty kicks. This is very, very important. Here's Hulk. He's going to hit it left-footed. Bravo on his line. Hulk drives it, and it hits the goalkeeper as much as anything else. Most important, it stays out of the net. Hulk has missed, and Chile are back in it.
Well, it's a poor penalty shooter, you got to say that. He's just gone for power. Got his head down, lashed it as hard as he can. off the thigh of Bravo. Good save from him.
So it's Diaz next. Marcelo Diaz, who walks forward into the D. And if he scores here, it's all levelled up again with one penalty each to go of the initial 5. So Julio Cesar actually just playing with Diaz's mind here. Julio Cesar is actually in the net, leaning up against the white netting. He's not ready yet, and now he steps forward, Julio Cesar, but it's Diaz. Marcelo Diaz for Chile. Here he comes on his right foot, and it's down the middle. Julio Cesar leapt to his left, but it's in the net, and Chile have levelled it up in the shootout. 2-2 now.
Yeah, good penalty. That time Cesar diving early. Looks as though he was going to just put it over to the keeper's left-hand side, but he just adjusted his foot at the end, went central, straight down the middle. Good penalty.
Neymar has had to shoulder the burden of expectation largely for this Brazilian World Cup team. He scored 4 goals. He has been their best player. It's 2-2 in the shootout. 1 penalty each remaining before we go into stoppage time, so to speak. Neymar for Brazil, and Bravo dancing along the line at the moment, clad in black. Neymar staring at the goalkeeper, looking down at the ball, moves to his left, going to head it right-footed. Here he comes, he hesitates, but he scores. He acknowledges the applause, and Brazil lead 3-2, and Chile have to score with the next penalty, or Brazil are through.
Yeah, good penalty, good composed penalty from Neymar. Waiting for Bravo just to dive to his left-hand side. Pulled it back across him into the other corner. Big pressure on this last penalty now for Chile.
Looks like Gonzalo Jara is coming forward. I was wondering who it was going to be, because Alexis Sanchez, of course, the sort of Neymar figure in the Chile team, has already taken his penalty and seen it saved. So it is Gonzalo Jara, who's just been released by Nottingham Forest here in this extraordinary theatre in Belo Horizonte. Must score, right foot, he's hit the post! Brazil are through! Chile are out, and Brazil are off the hook! Such a fine line, such a fine margin. It hit the inside of the post and rebounded across the goal line and out and away. And with that ball went Chile's dreams, and Brazil's live on at their own World Cup. But so close, Brazil. You've really got out of jail there.
They really have. Williams in tears. Led on the floor, face down. I think it's Flegg that's going to pick him up with his penalty miss throughout. I think Neymar himself's in the centre circle. He's in tears as well. What a moment. Decent strike from the penalty from Harrow. Hit the post. Brazil goes wild.
So they've won the shootout 3-2 after the 1-1 draw. And Brazil, the usual scenes here. The Brazilian players, the staff, all tearing forward to celebrate. But they've been pushed right to the limit by Chile today.
Yeah, it's been an incredible moment, that penalty miss there. But they have, Chile had the chances. They hit the bar just in the last few minutes of injury time. Big moment for Brazil, though. Big moment.
So Brazil go on, and Chile have to go back over the Andes after this. Brazil will play either Colombia or Uruguay on Friday in Fortaleza. And they look absolutely drained, the Brazilian players. Well, it's either a scene of celebration or a scene of utter exhaustion. And as you mentioned, Kevin, Willian down there, who was almost inconsolable after his penalty missed, and Hulk as well, and Marcelo, I see, just raising his arms now, and Neymar. Well, they're all in tears. Everyone's in tears. The Chileans are in tears and the Brazilians are in tears of relief.
Oh, it is. Emotional moment down there, certainly for the Brazilians. They're winning it, but of course the Chileans, they played really well. They put Spain out. Great performance in that game against Spain, putting them out. And today, they've given as good as they've got. They've had opportunities to go on and win the game in normal time. In extra time, they had chances. It's such a shame to see them go out on penalties.
Yes, it is. I feel they were very unfortunate, don't you, Kevin, to actually be runners-up in a group. I feel that they were one of the top sides of the group stages, and it was only because of the section that they were included in, Holland tipped them to it, that they found themselves here up against Brazil. I think they're very unfortunate, Chile, to be leaving at this stage of the competition, don't you?
Yeah, I do. I think they played well. Certainly in that Spain game, especially that Spain game, they were outstanding, putting the world champions out. Then into that Holland game, Holland probably did a job on them. Such a difficult draw to play against Brazil here when they finishing second, but they've certainly given them a huge test today.
So Brazil are through in the classic dramatic style of a penalty shootout. They've won it 3-2, the shootout, after the 1-1 draw after extra time, and they will go on. They are still really yet to convince at their own World Cup, but they will play Brazil in the quarterfinals.
Just watching the pictures here, John, Gary Medel, as tough a man as you would want to see, tattoos on his arms. He's absolutely blubbing his eyes out. We've all of us, whether we're pundits or whether we're reporters or players like Kevin, we've all watched loads of penalty shootouts. I don't think, Kevin, I've ever seen a situation where the winners have cried as much as the losers. Normally the winners are leaping around, cheering. But I mean, Luis was in tears, Neymar was in tears. They've ridden their luck, haven't they? Something big time the Brazilians have ridden their luck.
They have, Mark, they have. It was an emotionally charged game, it was, throughout, and to go through on penalties, that you say, it was such emotion that was let out by the Brazilians and the players, in tears on the pitch, Willian especially, inconsolable really, and they went through. You see Gary Medel there, he's had a wonderful game, he really has, and for him to lose in such a manner as well, it's huge disappointment for him.
And Kevin, by the time Neymar came to take his penalty, they were into sudden death. We were talking before the programme started about how he dealt with the pressure on him. That was pressure at his greatest. If he'd missed and then Yara had scored,
you know
Brazil would have
maybe that other teams have to sit and look up at is that Brazil didn't even play well today. And they're in the hat for the next round. Do you know what I mean? The first half, both teams played kind of well, but in terms of quality, pure quality, I think.
But they'll play well in the tour. If they're going to win this competition, they're going to have to play better than
if they hit a bit of form,
so far.
If they hit a bit of form, it's a worry for the other teams, I think.
Well, they've got had a little bit of luck tonight. They had luck in the first game against Croatia when they were wrongly given a penalty to get them back into the game. Do you just start and think maybe it's their turn?
Yeah, maybe.
Well, there's often much debate about penalty shootouts and possible alternatives, but for me they're great to watch. They're so exciting. Keep them, I say. I'm sure Janino at the moment agrees. Here he is with Jason.
Gary, thank you very much indeed. The atmosphere here in the stadium, Gary, is unbelievable. There are people just around us hugging each other. There are grown men in tears. That's what this game has done. And this man could barely watch as well. He was hugging my producer as well when we had the final miss. Unbelievable, Janino.
Unbelievable. Johnson, my heart is okay now.
Just about. But what drama your country have put you through today?
Well, we couldn't stay out of this tournament, so will be very sad for us, and then I'm very emotional to see Brazil get through, but I think from here to the end.
The official 2014 World Cup coverage on SJ Radio.
Oh, that was a close one, wasn't it? It was Brazil won, Chile won, it went to penalties, and Brazil won a penalties of 3-2. I really thought it could go to sudden death. Could it be the same for Cameroon versus Uruguay in just an hour's time? It is Colombia versus Uruguay. Could he go through to extra time? Could he go through the penalties? We'll find out 9 o'clock. We'll find out again at 9 o'clock only here on Australia. How tense is this World Cup going to be? It's knockout stages, so Chile is out of the World Cup and is Brazil still in.
The official 2014 World Cup coverage on SJ Radio.